What's up, everybody? This is Nick, and you're joining us once again for a Micro Mini Lightning Newscast that we're calling a redo. And as always, I'm joined by my good friend and fellow newscaster.
This is Eric.
And Eric, we're bringing him 10 minutes of stories, 10 minutes of stories that we tried to do before the big one hit. The tornado, the 15 tornadoes that blotted out the sun.
Okay. That's
Yes.
a bit extreme.
Well, no, it's the only way we wouldn't bring news, my friend.
They were all F5s.
F5s.
EF5s.
EF5s as far as the eye can see. All right. And as always, we bring you news that you can use, the only news you need. And here we go in 3, 2, 1. Eric, hit him with that first story.
Well, my first story comes from the border between Mexico and America. No matter what you think of that border, some crazy stuff does cross it, and some border agents.
California, that's the border, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It should run up along there. But U.S. Border Patrol agents in Brownsville, Texas, got a real unexpected surprise. They saw some smugglers or people crossing the border with a black duffel bag. And as they approached them, the smugglers, we'll call them smugglers, but they're smuggling. They dropped their black duffel bag and headed back into Mexico. And so the Border Patrol kind of wanders up and saying, hey, what's in this black duffel bag that they left here? And, it's a little thing you wouldn't expect, but it was there. Inside this black, unsuspecting duffel bag was a child tiger.
Oh, wow.
An unconscious male tiger stuffed inside. Yeah, we're talking about, no, we're talking about stuffed animals here. We're talking about a living 4-month-old baby tiger was stuffed inside this duffel bag. Nick, I don't know if you know this, but apparently Texas is known for backyard tigers. The rules on having exotic animals in Texas are pretty loose, and there's estimated that the number of tigers in Texas surpasses those in the wild. Last I heard, yeah. Especially like the Bengal tigers and whatnot.
Well, I know that they tell you when you're in Texas, don't feed the tigers.
I thought it was just a saying, right?
They roam free, apparently, and don't leave milk out. They'll keep coming back. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a wasteland down there.
Yeah, according to the best estimate, there is now more than 2,000 tigers living in the Lone Star State.
That is crazy.
I know, right? That's pretty. Now that it's legal, you do have to register them. But last I remembered looking at how many were registered, which is last week when I was going over this before the tornadoes blotted out the sun. I want to say only just a handful in the 20s were registered, but they're estimated to be over 2,000. That is intense. I wonder what a baby tiger's going for right now.
Well, I don't know. This does remind me, and I believe I brought this up right before the tornadoes blotted out the sun. This does remind me of when people would show up randomly and drop off animals. Like I was a pastor at a church way out in the boonies, and people would randomly every once in a while just show up, open up their van door, and all these, kittens would jump out. Is this basically what these men were doing? Were just like, I had an extra tiger.
Too many tigers, throw it over the fence.
Yeah.
And maybe. Luckily, the border agents took the little baby tiger to the Glades Porter Zoo in Brownsville, and it is expected to make a full recovery. But man, I just don't know what to say about that, Nick.
Well, you got to give it up to the gentleman that not only were able to stuff a tiger in a bag, because cats don't like getting baths. They'll claw you.
I'm assuming they gave it some Benadryl.
I'm only guessing that getting this tiger in a bag was quite the feat. But the other thing is to slosh it over a river. You got to give these men. Give it up to their determination.
I'm not too familiar about the Brownsville, like where the border's like in that area, but yeah, there's some water in that area. I know that. All right, well, let's move on. Nick, you had a story from the most garbage state we know. Tell us.
I did, my friend. There is last week we started to report before everything blotted out the sun. There is a little river. It's called New River. But my friend, people joke about this river that there are things like two-headed turtles, three-eyed fish. It sounds like something out of a Simpsons episode. They've even joked, one person said they're surprised that, making reference to the Simpsons movie, that there's no glass biodome that has been put over them yet. This river is so polluted, it has... It has been, declared a hazard. It has signs with warnings. It is so disgusting that people figured out, people trying to cross the border figured out that Border Patrol will not wade into this river because it's so nasty.
Wow.
That they were crossing this, and when they come out, they are normally very sick from crossing this river. And there's a 30-foot gap in the border fence separating Mexico and what they call Mexicali and Calexico, which very very good there, combining Mexico and California.
Like they're dating.
Yeah. But that's the neighbor city is Calexico. But they're going to build a 30-foot tall bollard style barrier so that the people will stop trying to get over this gap. And so they're building this 30-foot thing to cover this gap so people will stop wading in there trying to get through. But this apparently is so bad the EPA has declared this river or this new river a hazard.
Is it a Superfund site?
What do you mean?
Oh, those sites that are like so toxic that I don't know what designates a Superfund site.
Why would they name something so toxic a Superfund? That is like bad advertisement.
Superfund sites is land in the United States that has been contaminated by hazardous waste, and it is identified by the EPA as a candidate for cleanup because it poses a risk to human health and or the environment. These sites are placed on the national priorities list. I wonder if it's on there. Here, I got the list up right here. Oh, is this the list? No. I'm looking for the list, see if I can see if it's on there. That's crazy though.
The water was a green tinge. Of course, this attracts all sorts of mosquitoes with diseases and that sort of thing. And so they've been trying to deal with this. It's so bad they've pretty much said there's no way that this is ever going to get cleaned up.
Wow, that's pretty awful.
Yeah, they've just given up on this thing. It says 8 years ago, a yellow sign went up across, on this thing that had two skull and crossbones symbols. It says contaminated soil and new river water, keep out. This is just an insane amount of just garbage and pollution in this river.
No, it's not on the Superfund side. How strange.
Well, I don't know.
But we do know that California has 113 Superfund sites in their state. Just so you know.
Here's a story of one. It said the day Agent Kim fell into the water, he's a Border Patrol agent. He had stepped down on what he thought was solid embankment. It turned out to be a crust over the water.
Oh, gross.
He sank down to his knees in the water and had that had the consistency of oil.
Oh my goodness. That's gross. I can't imagine. Like we've all done that. We're like, oh, this looks okay to step on, and you just kind of sink deeper, and it's always that uncomfortable feeling. But knowing that you're stepping in this, man. And
here's the thing: is that people have said that it's gotten better.
Oh my gosh!
And Kim says. Kim says it has improved a lot, but when people say it's not as bad as it used to be, It's still really bad.
Oh, I like that. That sounds bad. It's still horrible.
It apparently didn't have much room for improvement, but it improved a little bit, and it's still terrible.
Well, I'm looking at the New River, and there is a dot beside the New River. Which one is this? Does it tell me? Like, I have a dot. I have all the
on the Superfund side.
On the Superfund site, that is like just right beside that river. It looks like it's beside some train tracks. I don't know. I was kind of wondering what caused it to become so polluted.
Isn't that just red dot all over California?
Basically. Oh, I had one more about greyhounds in the border, but we'll get to it another day. It's just dog racing and saving of greyhounds from Mexico. So, oh well, they're doing great.
All right, well, that's what you missed on when the tornadoes came and blotted out the sun. And we could not find it. But guess what? You could still find us, and Eric's going to tell you how.
We are unstoppable. You can find us all over the internet. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, where else? Podbean, any of the iTunes, any of the podcasting apps. You can find us. Just search for Pull Up a Chair Podcast. That'll be us. If you go to Twitter, you can tweet us at Pull Up a Chair Pod. We are always happy to hear some of the people who listen, whether they're fans or critics. We love it either way. Facebook's probably the better way to get to us, but Twitter's good too. Just give us a holler. And if you want to find our website, go to puckpodcast.website. I'm sorry, puckpodcast.website is the website we have, and you can go there.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. We apologize for being out for a couple weeks, but once again, the tornadoes did blot out the sun, and I lived in a storm shelter for a week. And luckily, we survived to bring you these stories, to bring you the stories you need to know, the stories that you can use. And we hope you have yourself a great day.
Bye.